forward to them coming, then you just really can't wait for them to go because it gets that busy, you know.
All right.
You guys were able to give them a win, though. So.
Pardon?
You guys were able to give them a win.
Yeah. The Charlotte game, they actually left because of the rain delay because we had 3 babies with us, so they
All right.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Now we're
Good.
joined by head coach Phil Neville.
Do you want opening remarks?
Please.
Good. Afternoon, guys. Where I think we're approaching a real pivotal week with three really big games for us. We give them a couple of days off after the New York City game, after the stretch that we just had, and they come back in on Tuesday and Wednesday. And you know, I think probably the first time in my time as Inter Miami manager, you know, I think I had 25, 26 players for training, in terms of everyone back fit. Coco obviously getting his visa, Breck Shea being back in some kind of training. Ari and Leo being back in for parts of the training as well, even though we had to modify them. So we've got real strength in depth now. The roster looks really thick in terms of quality and depth, and I think we're approaching the most important part of the season, which is where we've got to really earn our money, where we've got to really start performing, and the wins are going to be big for us. And it's a 9-point week, and it's a week where we want to really attack, and it starts with a really important game against one of the most improved sides in the whole of the conferences. Who obviously the coach, fantastic coach. He's got a good staff around him, and they've got players that are as good as probably most in the league in terms of their front players are really exciting. So I think it's going to be a real important game for both teams. We know where the win takes us, and we know where the win takes them. And it's like I said to the team today, is that we've got to attack. We've got to really go for it. We can't think that it'll just be the next game. We've got to really put our foot down now, and we know what we have to do. And I think that's the exciting bit. In terms of sort of like the team selection for the team, like again I've said to them this morning that it's the most difficult bit for me will be this weekend is picking 20 players, never mind the 11. We're going to have 4 or 5 players missing out from actually being on the substitutes bench. So it's time for, we spoke about our togetherness and spirit and the culture. It's now it's the biggest test of our culture and our spirit, is that how players are going to handle disappointments and how they're going to respond to that. And the competition, even though we've said it's from external, the biggest competition is from within. How can you be better than your teammate to compete for your spot? And I hope, and I think, and I know that will drive the competition level.
We'll get started with questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We will get started with Michelle Kaufman, then Franco, and then Jose.
Okay. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Michelle.
I want to ask you about the goalkeeper situation. What are you thinking for this weekend? You know, Nick is healthy again, and Drake. You know, what's your thinking with those two right now?
Yeah, we'll have a goalkeeper in net. that I can promise you. I think Drake's done absolutely fantastic. I really do. I think that the challenges for both keepers now is not for Drake to maintain, but can Drake can he take his game, keep going forward? Can he keep stepping up to the next level? And that's the challenge that we've set him. For Nick, it's about becoming number one again. It's about getting up to the levels we know he can get up to. It's about getting back to the full fitness. I think there's been a real big push from Nick Marsman this week. He knows that we've got big games coming up. He knows that he will be needed in terms of the challenge, if not the challenge to play. We know the qualities of both keepers, and I hope that takes their levels up to even better. Drake Callender, I think, has been. If you look at the keepers, the goalkeepers in the leagues, I think he's in the top 5 in terms of his performances, in terms of the data, in terms of the statistics, and sometimes you think, oh, it's young Drake. No, his ability in games, his ability and performances in games has put him up into the top 5 goalkeepers performance-wise in the league. So he's earned the right to stay in the team over the last month when Nick's been gradually getting back to full fitness. Now Drake and Nick have got a real big challenge on their hands, but it's no different than the challenge all over the pitch. In training yesterday, it felt like we had 6 right wingers, 6 left wingers, and we had 3 centre forwards. We had 8 for the midfield 3 positions or midfield 2 positions. So the competition in every area of the pitch now is really, really intense, and we need to make sure that we use that for our advantage. And it's my job to pick the right team.
Next question, Franco, then Jose.
Phil, what's the update with Leo? Is he able to go this weekend? Is it still day-to-day, touch and go? How is he looking for this
I
weekend?
think he's doubtful, I've got to say. With like a medial ligament injury, they do linger, they are acute, they do cause you pain even when you think you're okay. Running in straight lines for Leo is no problem. It's the twisting, the turning, and it's the shooting. So I think he's a major doubt. He's not trained with the team yet this week, neither as Harry fully. So as the days getting closer to the games, you're thinking, well, you at least need to start training with the team, pain-free and asymptomatic. And I'd say that they're both 50-50 for the game at the weekend. But we have got Coco in back now. He's trained the last couple of days after 2 weeks off. He's not played a game, I think, since May. So we're going to have to make sure that when we put Coco in, we put him in at the right time when he's ready to perform, and not leave him short. So we've got some really good decisions to make in our forward positions.
Next question, Jose.
Thank you. Phil, a big talking point this morning in the United States is Sacramento Republic because of what happened last night. You talk about that competition, how much you like it, but my question is, how can the situations like what happened last night help develop the game even more? Very often in MLS, we compare to top leagues in the world or even Liga MX in Mexico. But having that competition in the country, how important can that be for the development of the game?
Well, I watched a lot of the Orlando New York Red Bulls game last night, and I think them cup games have been my favourite games this season. You look at the level of intensity. It's do or die. It's win or takes all, and the crowd, the intensity, the environment. There's a smell in the air, and I've got to say, when you look at the standard of the USL Championship teams, I think it's outstanding, and I think we're getting to the point now where how can the MLS, how can we keep taking the leagues forward? I always think that promotion and relegation is part of football, and there should be reward for winning leagues. There should be consequences for not being the best team. And I think that would heighten the intensity levels. I think that would heighten the pressure levels. I think that would heighten the competition. It would also mean that if you're a USL Championship team, you would have a real big carrot. You think about the Championship in England compared to the Premier League, how much it's worth financially, status-wise, brand-wise, player-wise. Is that and likewise for those at the bottom of the Premier League, the pressure on them. So I think that's where I think. Just real, shooting the talk is that I'd say that promotion and relegation helps competition. Cup games help competition, and when you see the performance not of just Sacramento, but all the USL Championship teams, the team that we played against, really they should have won the game. And the cup competitions have been, I think, brilliant this year. There's been real big upsets. And I don't think it was a surprise really last night with Sacramento winning. I think everyone thought that they were there to compete in the game. So I think from an MLS, I think we've got an incredible league here, and we've got to keep taking it forward. We've got to keep making it competitive. And the cup competitions, I think, have been, I think been some of the most exciting games. We went to FC Miami and Miami FC, and that game was really testing. Then the game at home was testing. We went to Orlando, and there's just a different feel in the air. And the cup competitions, I think, are good.
Next question, Ian, then Carter.
Hey, Phil, you've mentioned a lot in recent weeks about slow starts the first 25 minutes, and the first go-around against Cincinnati it was similar, going down 2-0 real early. looking back in the past couple of weeks, they've also been prone, though, to giving up first half goals. Where do you see the levers of success in that first quarter of the match, and how can you sort of change that stagnant first half offense that you've been talking about?
Yeah, I think it's a really great point, but I'd also say that to help us start games well, we need referees to make the right decisions, and you know I want to help referees. I said after the game the other day I've been struggling with them. I think we've been on the wrong end of a lot of decisions that have gone against us, particularly in those opening periods. You think about Philadelphia. I thought Bryce Duke should have had a penalty. I didn't think they should have had a penalty. The decision the other day I thought was a poor decision. So yes, we've got to start games well, but we also need other things to go our way as well. And you know, I know that there's this thing that it tends to even out over a season. I'm not feeling that at this moment in time, and I want to back the referees 100%. They've got a real incredible job, and I think they're improving every single week. And I really want to create real good communication between them and us, and make sure that we're all heading in the same direction. But from a competition point of view, from us, we're competitors, and we had a competition day yesterday, and there was 4 teams picked, and me and Jason, my assistant, were the referees, and we made some really bad calls, and we've reviewed them with the team today, because we want to make sure that we're preparing ourselves and we handle ourselves in a respectful way, and it's really difficult, and we've got to remain focused, but you also want the decisions to go your way as well, that we feel as if we deserve. We need to start the games well. That's on us. That's the accountability on us. But we also feel over the since the international break, the decisions haven't been going our way. We feel as if we need to. We feel as if that's been the case.
Well, next question, Carter, then Andrea.
Coach, with Coco now available, what can he bring to the team, and what kind of impact can he have moving forward for you guys?
Yeah, well, he's at a brilliant age. He's at a brilliant age where he's coming up to his peak. He's very versatile. He can play 7, 11, 10, as a 9, as a pinch as well. He's really quick over 5 to 10 metres. He can beat people 1v1. He's got really good delivery from set plays and from wide areas. And he's just got that big game experience that we feel as if he'll give us that composure in the final third. We've added Pozuelo, we've added now Coco, to add to the real good players that we've got. And I said it before, that for Coco to get in the team, he's got to perform at a really high level, because we've got Robert Taylor, we've got Indy, we've got Ari, Emerson, who I think has been fantastic, all performing at a real high level. So the competition's great. We've just brought him in to add to that competition. He is a real happy guy, good locker room guy, and he's a winner.
We'll do last 2 questions, Eleanor and Andrea.
Hello. Hi there. Yeah, we're coming from the UK, and we wanted to ask you about the Lionesses, if that's okay. Obviously, a really exciting weekend as they reached the final of the Euros. I just wanted to get your reaction to kind of where we're at with the tournament.
Well, I think I've got to say I'm so proud of what I'm seeing. You know, it's just amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a team approach a major tournament and basically destroy every team that comes in their path. What I love is they're playing with massive smiles on their faces. They're enjoying the moment. I think they've got an incredible manager. Serena is one of the best in the women's game. And personally, I've got a real strong connection with these players, and I'm just so proud of the journey that they are on, the journey that they're going on. I think it was a massive psychological barrier that we got over by winning a semi-final. You think about the 3 semi-finals previous to that we fell short in. And now we're in the final at Wembley, full stadiums in every venue that we've seen in the Euros. I think we've put on an incredible advertisement visibility for women's football, and really I'm so proud of those players. for everything that they're doing and achieving. When I was the manager, I always spoke about winning, but they always wanted to do more than just winning. They wanted to inspire. They wanted to make sure that there was visibility. They wanted to make sure that there was always equality. They wanted to break down so many barriers, and that's what inspired me as their coach. And watching them, they are doing everything and more. And seeing them with a smile on their faces, seeing them play with freedom, seeing those players play to their absolute maximum of their ability, I think it's a brilliant thing. And the English FA must take a lot of credit for the investment that they've put into the women's game. But those players and that manager are very special. And I'll be watching on Sunday. I'll be cheering on from Miami. And you know, once you've worked with this set of players, the set of players that I've worked with, you'll be forever a lioness for life, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel, and I hope they go and play with the same freedom against a really good Germany side in a full Wembley Stadium, and you know, I think they've been a credit to everyone involved.
Last question, Andrea.
We never ask you about the lineup, but today you've received questions about Nick and Drake. I wanted to ask you about Gonzalo and Emerson. Are you thinking about them starting, or having Coco changes that a little bit, that you can add him instead of Emerson? How do you see your lineup for Saturday?
Well, I've got 25 players to pick from. It's going to be really difficult. Emerson is a really interesting one because he's developing under the radar. He keeps coming on and affecting the game. He keeps coming on and playing well. He keeps coming on and sort of like he's doing his talking with his feet. There was a lot of immaturity at the start of the season in his play and his behaviour. The Barcelona game for me was we sat down with him. I sat down with him after the press conference after the Barcelona game, and we spoke about behaviours, about what it takes to perform at the top level, and he performed really well against Barcelona. He showed me that he had the courage to play at that kind of level by taking the ball and having the courage. And we then spoke about what, you know, somebody like Memphis Depay or Ansu Fati, somebody that he played against. I said they do that every minute of every day, not just when it suits, not just when they play the big games. They do that every single minute of every day. And he's just becoming a real top professional. There's a long way to go. He has his ups and downs. But I think we've got a hell of a player on our hands with Emerson, and he's been at his best when he's impacted the game. With the last 30 minutes, he stretches the game, when players get tired and the heat kicks in. And we do feel probably that's his best role at this moment in time, but he's edging closer to becoming a starter. Coco, there's a decision to make whether he can. He's only trained the last 2 days, and he's had 2 weeks stuck in a hotel in Paris waiting for his visa. So it's going to be very difficult for him to complete the 90 minutes. And we want to pick the freshest team. So in the next 2 days, I'll see where they're all at, and then we'll select the best possible team.
All right. Now we're gonna have Coco coming in. Yeah. Just open the door there. Yeah. We'll do front and back.
Coco. He speaks English very well.
And we'll do the back. Okay. And we're going to have translation on the call from Michelle, so please wait for the microphone to ask the question, so then we can have the translation from the Zoom. But if you have a question, please raise your hand. All right, we'll get started with Franco, then Jose.
Hello, Coco. Welcome. you're here in Miami, in South Florida with Inter Miami. What brought you to this project? What attracted you to coming to this team at this moment in your career?
Bon, premièrement, bienvenue. Vous êtes maintenant à Miami, au sud de la Floride. Qu'est-ce qui vous amène ici et comment est-ce que votre transfert vers Miami s'est produit? Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené et qu'est-ce qui vous a attiré vers Miami?
Tout d'abord, merci. C'est simple, j'étais à Lens en Ligue 1 et j'arrivais au bout d'un cycle. Et quand il y a l'Inter Miami qui m'a appelé, mon agent, voilà, j'ai pas hésité. C'était un objectif que j'avais pour plus tard, voilà, d'évoluer en MLS. Et quand l'opportunité est venue, j'ai sauté dessus et je suis très content d'être ici. Et j'espère apporter toutes mes qualités à l'équipe.
So, thank you. First of all, it was very simple. I was with Lens in League One, and I was kind of getting to the end of a cycle. So when my agent got the call from Inter Miami, I really didn't hesitate. It was kind of an objective for me later in my career to play in MLS. So I just jumped on this opportunity and very excited to be here and look forward to bring all of my qualities to this game.
Next question, Jose.
Hi, Coco. I wanted to ask you about the style of play of Inter Miami. Since you have been waiting, I'm guessing you have had a lot of time to watch maybe some of the matches. I wanted to get your thoughts. They like to play a lot through the wings. If you feel that's something that can be beneficial for you. And one more question: do you play as a 9, or is your winger the position that you like to play? What is your ideal position on the field?
Alors, on vous demande si vous avez eu la chance de visionner certains matchs d'Inter et quelles sont vos impressions sur leur style de jeu. Il y a beaucoup de jeux qui se passent par l'aile au départ et à savoir quelle est votre position favorite. Est-ce que vous êtes plus un attaquant sur l'aile ou vous aimez être au centre?
Ouais, j'ai regardé les matchs de Miami quand j'étais en France. Il y a beaucoup de qualité dans l'équipe. Après, c'est vrai que c'est un championnat hyper homogène. Les matchs sont tous très compliqués. Et moi, j'aime bien avoir de l'espace. Donc, comme tu l'as dit, le jeu passe beaucoup par les ailes. Donc, ça peut m'être favorable. Et oui, j'aime bien jouer à gauche ou à droite. Et sinon, où je pense ma position préférentielle, c'est à jouer à 2 devant, dans les 2 attaquants.
So yes, while I was still in France, I had a chance to watch some of the matches. There's definitely a lot of quality in this team, and the league itself has a lot of parity. So each match is difficult. For myself, I do like having space to work with. So the type of play is definitely favorable for myself. I do enjoy playing on the left or the right, but my preferred position is definitely on top as one of the 2 strikers.
Next question, Michelle, then Carter.
Bienvenue. Je m'appelle Michelle Kaufman. J'ai journaliste pour le Miami Herald. Désolée, je ne peux pas être présent en personne aujourd'hui. J'ai étudié le français à l'école. Je vais essayer de poser mes questions en français. OK?
OK.
Vous êtes prêt à jouer samedi? Et vous êtes habitué à la chaleur et l'humidité de Miami. Merci.
Je suis prêt, oui, je suis prêt. Après, je sais qu'il va me falloir un peu de temps pour être à 100% parce que ça fait 2 mois que j'ai pas joué. Parce que la saison en France se termine fin mai. Donc il va me falloir un peu de temps pour être bien. Et non, la chaleur, je suis pas habitué en France, mais ça va venir avec le temps et je vais m'habituer.
Merci.
All right, next question, Carter.
Coco, there's a very passionate fan base here. How excited are you to step out in front of them for the first time this weekend and play in front of them?
Donc, il y a un groupe de partisans, de supporters qui est très passionné ici à Miami. Avez-vous hâte de pouvoir sauter sur le terrain ce week-end et jouer devant eux?
Oui, bien sûr, j'ai hâte de jouer à domicile et de me montrer et surtout que l'équipe gagne, c'est le plus important. Et puis que les fans soient contents de nous pour qu'on termine la saison positivement parce qu'il reste 13 matchs et ça va aller vite et c'est hyper serré. Donc pour réaliser l'objectif du club, il faut faire le maximum de victoires, surtout devant notre public.
Well, yes, I am excited to play at home and show the fans here, but most importantly, see the team win. We want the fans to be happy, and we need to maintain that positive results. There's only a few matches left in the season, so we know it's going to go quick. So ultimately, we want to reach and achieve the objectives of the club and do that in front of our fans.
Next question, Ian, and then Andrea.
Thank you, Rafa. Hey, Coco. You'd mentioned always wanting to play in MLS, and at this stage in your career, coming from Ligue 1 and wanting to play here, what were some of the things that you were hearing, both positively and challenges? The travel is very far, the summer schedule with the weather changes a lot, the playoff structure. What were some of the things that you had heard about the league heading into here that made it an exciting opportunity?
Donc, vous avez mentionné plus tôt que c'était un de vos objectifs de jouer en MLS. Qu'aviez-vous entendu parler de ce championnat-ci, autant positif que certains des défis, que ce soit la température, les distances à voyager, la structure de séries? Donc, quels sont les points que vous aviez entendus et sur lesquels vous pouvez nous parler aujourd'hui?
Oui, non, la MLS, c'est un championnat qui se développe énormément. J'en ai entendu que du bien. C'est un championnat difficile parce qu'il y a énormément de voyages, des décalages horaires, la chaleur. Donc c'est très compliqué. Donc c'est un challenge assez excitant pour moi. Donc voilà, il va falloir se mettre au boulot et donner le meilleur de moi-même.
So yes, it's definitely a league that is growing. I've only heard good things, but also know of some of the challenges. Obviously, travel, the time changing, the heat is something that I'll have to get used to, but it's a very exciting challenge for me, and I can't wait to get to work.
Next question, Andrea, then Franco.
Hi, Coco. I wanted to ask you, what have been your conversations with Higuaín since you said you prefer to play as a striker? What have your conversations been with Higuaín and Campana, and how have your teammates received you?
Donc, vous avez mentionné aimer jouer à titre d'attaquant au centre. Avez-vous quel genre de conversation avez-vous eu avec Higuaín et Campana en termes de rôle et comment est-ce que vos autres coéquipiers vous ont reçu avec eux?
Oui, j'ai été bien reçu et comme je l'ai mentionné, j'aime bien jouer de devant, mais le coach joue plutôt en 4-3-3. Donc à l'entraînement, il m'utilise plus sur le côté droit et gauche, donc plus en soutien de Gonzalo et Campana. Donc voilà, mais j'espère que nos relations vont être très bonnes sur le terrain.
So I've been very well received by the team. I do like to play on top, but from what coach prefers to play in a 4-3-3, I've been used more or training in either a left or right position as a support for Gonzalo and Campana. But I hope that our relationships will continue to develop, and so far everything's been going well.
Franco?
Coco, first off, why the nickname Coco? And second, physically, where do you feel you are right now ahead of this weekend's game against FC Cincinnati?
Donc, deux questions. La première, pourquoi le surnom Coco? Et la deuxième, savoir comment est-ce que vous vous sentez physiquement.
Et Coco, en fait, je m'appelle Corentin et c'est le Coco Corentin. Et ensuite, physiquement, il faut que je travaille parce que, comme j'ai dit, ça fait 2 mois que j'ai pas joué de match. Je suis venu, j'étais en France pendant 2 semaines, donc on s'entraîne pas avec l'équipe, donc c'est différent. Là, c'est ma première véritable semaine, donc il va me falloir du temps, mais j'espère être dans les meilleures conditions le plus rapidement possible.
Donc, sorry, I'll switch back to English now. The nickname is simply just a short for Corentin, which is my first name. Physically, I do still have work to do. Obviously, I've mentioned earlier, I haven't played in 2 months since the end of the championship in France. And then I spent 2 weeks in France just waiting and where I couldn't train with the team. I've only been training really here with the team for a week, so it'll take some time, but I'm feeling good otherwise.
All right. Thank you, Coco, and thank you, everyone. That concludes today's press conference.
Yeah.